Hey guys, Steve Zonardo here with Remax West, Zonardo Associates. Happy Monday morning. Quick update on the market. We're going to talk today, firstly, about buyer fatigue and if it's setting in. Today, because I'm a real numbers nerd, I've been looking through all the processing of listings that have been terminated because of listing at a low price, setting up for a bidding war, not getting what they wanted, and then ultimately relisting the property at a higher price. So this is the first step of buyer's fatigue, which we're starting to see now. Again, we're still far away from it, but it is the start of it. And I'll give you an example. So we have these properties here. I don't really want to show you the address, naturally, because these are sellers and real realtors doing these businesses here, or doing business rather. So if you look at this house here, listed at $929, if you can see that. And then down here in the broker's remarks, we have an offer date where it says Feb 4th at 7 p.m. they're accepting offers. So what happens is this, they listed low to get a whole influx of people into the property and they get into a bidding war. So $929, obviously this is a couple $100,000 short of its market value. So you might have 40 to 50 offers on a property like this, but really maybe 5 or 10 real buyers for it. So if you kind of look at that, what happens, it got terminated. Now it's relisted at $1,218,000 and there's no more offer date. So what's happening, like I said, they on Feb 4th, they must have had an offer presentation date and then nothing came in of what the buyer was or the seller was willing to sign off on. So they basically terminated the listing and relisted at a higher price. So that's the first step of buyer's fatigue we'll start to see. Another one is basically sellers calling the realtor saying, hey, if you can give me X amount of money for my property, I'll let it go. If not, then we have to, we'll just unplug it. And this is what's happening with these other two listings here. So if you look at this, it's at $1 million. Is it $1 million? So 1.2 million, $1,199,000. They have an offer date set at the bottom. Offer date is Jan 28th. So they didn't get what they wanted. Naturally, they unplugged the property off the market and it hasn't been relisted. So that's what that is. And this one here is listed at $998, holding offers on Feb 3rd. Naturally, they didn't get what they want, so they terminated the listing, and now it's off the market permanently unless someone can get them the numbers that they originally told the realtors that they wanted. So this is the first sign of buyer's fatigue. We're still far away from it. If you're a seller, I wouldn't panic. With this information I'm providing today, we still have probably about a month and a half, I would predict, until everything will kind of settle down. But this is the first indication, even for buyers, when you're submitting an offer in a bidding war. This is going to give you a good indication where finally we'll see some settling of prices. Again, there's going to be some properties that are just going to beat the market every time because they're just very unique properties and amazing properties, and people are willing to pay for it. Especially if they're coming in from a different area. If the Toronto's coming into the GTA, we're starting to see a huge overbidding from that process because they're coming in with Toronto money into like York region. So we're seeing a big influx in pricings with that. So that's quite cool. Talk about unemployment rate. Currently, right now, they released the numbers on last week regarding January. So we're 215,000 more unemployed as of January 2021 rather. Yeah, so this is, I think no one's really chatting about this. And I always talk about even our current market right now. We're in this huge uproar where it truly doesn't make sense. This is basically a fear of missing out with the current people in their particular neighborhoods, because number one, we don't have immigration's not open. We have no one settling in to bring in more buyers. So we have to ex-nay that. We have no economic growth. We have to cross that out, and we have no employment growth as per this paperwork here. So basically, our market's in an uproar because of the fear of missing out with the people in the general public. So yeah, I would be careful with that too. If you are buying, naturally you want to make sure you're submitting an offer on market value rather than emotions and on that huge prop up. It's almost like a casino type environment where everything's hyped and people submitting large sums of money, which doesn't make sense. So just be careful with that. But good thing is, if you are selling and cashing out of the market, or you're selling and you're hedging the market, what an opportunity. Every property's selling, and it's selling for astronomical amounts of money. So if you are cashing out of the market, yeah, great opportunity to do it now. We still have probably a month, let's say a month and a half to 2 months of this you know, before the buyer fatigue sets in, and then we're going to have the stabilization of pricing. And obviously at that point, you'll see sellers going back on the market with at extremely high prices, and then no one's going to be watching their properties or looking at them, and then they're going to start adjusting them down until it hits market value. And then my buyers will come in, and we're going to make some great deals here. This is how we make money in real estate. Talking about current inventory, this is the first time we're over 8,000 mark. So we're at 8,370 units. And this is the first time it's actually gone the other way, where residential low-rise freehold properties are actually more properties, units on the market than condominiums. Because currently right now we're at 4,574 residential units, freehold units, and currently we're at 3,796 condominium units. So what's happening now is that we've finally overlapped it, which is usually normal, but the last 6 to 8 months we've seen that reverse, where there's a ton more condominiums on the market than residential. And we're starting to see condominiums actually starting to move. People are starting to see good deals in the city, so they're snapping them up, being fearful just in case they did come up and it's unattainable anymore. So that's what's currently happening now in the city. So guys, if you have any questions, always reach out, 647-962-4372. Thanks. Bye-bye.